Hey guys, Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com, and this is BH Veteran Spotlight, and it's a special edition of BH Spring Solutions video series about BH veterans. A BH veteran is someone who has done business with BH Spring Solutions in the past, and at most recent count today is June 9th, 2021, and we're counting today something north of 5,500 BH veterans, and many millions of future BH veterans. Hopefully they're going to watch this. We hope you're inspired by this. This BH Veteran Spotlight happened because of a friend of ours. He's a customer. Never have met this man in person. But he has become a great friend of BH Spring Solutions, and he did a couple things that got our attention. We couldn't help it. And I'm going to show you kind of what got our attention. This is taking you back now about 2 years, I believe, into 2018, 2019. We got an email from Donald, and Donald had a high-power pistol that he had decided he thought he would send to the BH service center, or our BH custom shop service department. And when he did, actually, I'm just going to start this as just a kind of photo demonstration as I tell the story here. The top pistol here is a TISAS Made in Turkey BR9 high power clone. This was in the BH custom shop, and those are BH Masters grips. That is a hand engraved version of those, and this went with the BH Spring Solutions SFS system, BH Springs. This Browning high power here you see similarly equipped with BH heirloom grade grips. And the big attention getter after Donald sent these high powers to us was some of the shooting charts that he sent. And what these were was he was shooting with the high powers that we had optimized in the BH custom shop service department. And this was one that we couldn't help but get our attention. This is Donald's son, Stephen. And Stephen is a NRA certified pistol instructor. Hopefully we can zero in on this good enough so you can see it for yourself. This is Stephen Frederick. That was December 27th, 2019. This is with his Browning high power that went through our shop. That's 10 rounds at 10 yards. And my goodness, folks, I mean, that is the real deal. 10 in 10 yards. This is Stephen Frederick with Donald's TISAS BR9. Again, 10 rounds, 10 yards, same date. And you know, there's just no middle ground in this. And when you see this, especially as a company like ours, who, you know, we are the entity who did the service work and the preparation of these two high power pistols, and then to, you know, get feedback in this form and in this kind of you know, kind of no prisoners sort of performance, certainly it has to be an attention getter, and it definitely got our attention, and we never forgot this. And we're now fast forward to 2021, and I heard from Donald again, and he had acquired, this was actually a very used FN aluminum frame high power, and we'll go on and he explain in Donald's own words about why he did that. But here's one more. This is another one from Donald. This is Donald's shooting chart with his TISAS BR9. This is another one of Stephen's with the same BR9. They're still at 10 yards, and those are 10 rounds that you see there. Here's Donald shooting, and another picture of his TISAS with the heirloom grade grips on that. So this is the kind of thing that these guys make a hobby out of this, and or a passion, and quite amazing. Now, here's a little bit of the rest of the story. Here in 2021, Donald Frederick is 90 years young, and He would have been 87 or 88 at the time of shooting these charts. And okay, so fast forward to 2021, and Donald sends us his aluminum frame high power, and here's a couple pictures of that high power when it was sent to us. And as you can see, it's been used, and it's been around the block a few times. And here are the after pictures, and we have BH's TT graphite refinish. This high power got BH's advanced trigger subassembly, which that's the whole redesigned trigger subassembly. He also got the BH advanced barrel 11-degree crown, our buffering recoil spring guide rod, SFS, the fast safety hammer forward carry system for high powers that we have, BH optimized springs throughout. We dovetail sight cut the slide and installed MeproLite night sights. There was specialized metal prep that we did prior to the refinish, and then again the TT graphite upper and lower for the refinish. And as you can see, Donald likes the Crimson Trace laser grips on his high power. Here's another picture of Donald and Stephen, his son. Another shooting chart where they practice paper conservation by reusing the same hole multiple times. Again, this is 10 rounds at 10 yards, and folks, that doesn't leave very much room if you have to follow and act like this. And so you get the idea that this was this is obviously an attention getter, especially when it happens over and over and over. And then yesterday we received, Donald had just received back his aluminum frame high power that we most recently optimized and customized for him. And we got these in our email, and I'll tell you the story behind these is quite remarkable. Here's the email. It says, Mark shot a little over 100 rounds of 115 grain factory full metal jacket today without any hiccups. This is again about the most recently optimized aluminum frame. The silhouette target is mine. 5 rounds at 7 yards. My son Stephen shot the sight end target at 7 yards also with the Crimson Trace laser grips I added. Yes, that 5 shots in the center hole. I don't know what he's going to do when the barrel gets broken in. Obviously, these are our best targets, but no complaints about the others. Only complaint, and it's common at my age, it's so damn hard to rack the slide. Hope it improves with time. Donald, you don't know this, but we're going to mention this. BH Spring Solutions has developed some progressive recoil springs for the high power. They've tested out incredibly, and they do give a slightly easier slide rack. That is a product that is coming, and when I say it's coming, it's literally on the way and imminent here within the next few weeks. So he said, again, thanks from a very satisfied customer, Donald. And yeah, that's Donald's shooting chart yesterday at 90 years young, and his son Stephen. And again, that's 5 rounds that went through that paper conservation effort. And this performance with handguns that we've prepared, that we've optimized, and that are carrying, my goodness, almost all BH Spring Solutions components are now running these handguns, and we get this kind of performance. I mean, I feel like these guys, we should create a BH Spring Solutions elite shooting team. These guys are already on it and already a part of it, so we almost might as well, right? Here's a picture of Donald Frederick yesterday, and with his newly refurbished aluminum frame high power. Has a very interesting story about this, and we're going to come back to this. But after these several instances of interacting with Donald, I asked Donald yesterday, I said, you guys really do some impressive shooting, and really, I mean, there's no middle ground with these guys. I mean, and I would like, if I got to shoot with these guys, I think I want to shoot first because I don't want to follow either one of them. And I thought, if there's any kind of a story behind these guys that's even half as good as their shooting charts, that could be a very interesting story. And I asked Donald to share with me, some of your history with firearms, yours and your sons, and just some of the history of this, and what you guys do, and just that kind of thing. So Donald started sending some stuff to me, and this crisscrosses paths with high power guys, I think, multiple times. And our high power BH veteran owners of high powers, users of high powers, I think you're going to be able to relate to a lot of this, and there's going to be some stuff here that's really going to surprise you. And you can't make this kind of stuff up, as you're going to see. So Donald started sending us some things and telling us a little bit about it. This one says, attached is a summary of 3 generations of Browning high power shooters. Feel free to edit into a manageable size. He says, starting with my father, a distinguished marksman, carried a Browning high power in 1947 while serving the city of Miami Beach, Florida as a detective lieutenant. I believe he may have been the first active law enforcement officer to carry a Browning high power in the United States. This is actually a newspaper article that includes Sam Frederick, Donald's father. I believe that would be him here, where they cleaned up at a revolver competition that apparently the National Revolver Association had that year. So you start to see a little bit of history about these guys, but folks, you don't have this made up. It says right here, July 27th, 1947, the Miami Herald. And you can read down here at the bottom, and this you have to just see, because this is priceless. And obviously, Sam Frederick, he's got his high power and magazine there in his hands. And the caption of the newspaper article says, "Bad news for burglars. Is this 15-shot automatic held by Sam Frederick's Miami Beach detective?" It says with a clip holding, and it's cut off there at that point. Bad news for burglars. That was the interpretation about the high-power pistol in the hands of Sam Frederick in July 27th, 1947. I don't think I would have ever really, imagine that we had any law enforcement in the United States carrying a high-power pistol in 1947, but folks, you just can't make this kind of stuff up, and I had to share this. It's a unique piece of high-power history in the United States for sure. Some of the other things that Donald sent and shared with us is another one here about his father. It says, crack rifleman to face naval reserves in match. And you see at the bottom here, Sergeant Sam Fredericks. And then this one looks like from the field at a firing line. And Donald shared with us, Dad, and get this now, this is going to be, when I said if this story is anything as interesting as the shooting charts or as impressive as the shooting charts, this was going to be a good one. It says, Dad served in the Army and fought in France in World War I at the age of 16. Came back to the cavalry and served on the Mexican border against Pancho Villa. Then joined the Marine Corps and the Marine Corps Rifle Team. That's him on the marksmanship manual in 1931. And get this. Here's a picture of the United States Marine Corps Rifle and Pistol Marksmanship Manual for 1935, and that would be none other than Sam Frederick on the cover. These guys, this has been going on now for like over 100 years, based on what I was coming to understand here. Anyway, about Sam Frederick, in 1931 he joined the Miami Beach Police Department as one of the first mounted patrolmen. In 1941, at the age of 41, he took a leave of absence and volunteered to rejoin the Marines at 41 and fought in the South Pacific, where he was wounded and returned to the police department. Here's some other mementos from Donald of his father, and the cover of that marksmanship manual, and the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And this talks about he winning twice at Camp Perry in matches. 1,000-yard competition is what it goes on to talk about. But truly, truly interesting stuff. Well, obviously the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, right? And you enter Donald. And this is, he captioned this, me during my bench rest shooting years. There's a 10-shot group, and we're talking on here about 100 yards here in this picture. I'll get that up closer so you can see this. Folks, shooting groups like this, again, these guys, there's something genetically going on here, I think, when you see this just happening, and it's not just with pistols either. It's rifles and just a lot of this stuff. Donald went on to say, although I shot in Dad's police matches at the age of 14 and with a U.S. Air Force pistol team in Korea, I was never much of a pistol shooter. I shot on the University of Florida rifle team and national bench rest competition for 20 years. When that became too physically exhausting, I returned to recreational pistol shooting, and although I own several high-end custom 1911s, the high powers soon became my favorites. I currently own a Mark III, a Tissos, and a 1981 high power that you just finished for me. You've customized all three. I practice monthly at a minimum with my son Stephen, who is a NRA certified pistol instructor and a better pistol shooter than I will ever be. Finally, one more communication from Donald, and this is about his movement from 1911s to high powers and kind of the understanding behind it. And we appreciate Donald so much for taking the time to do this. He wrote, Mark, it occurred to me this afternoon that I spent a lot of time talking about my family and not much about what I thought of your products. Before my addiction to Browning high powers, my go-to everyday carry and recreation shooters were 1911s. As I aged, the weight became important, so my all-time favorite became the Colt Commander, and I think we got a picture of that right here. When I changed to the high power, two things became evident. It was considerably heavier than the Commander, and the trigger was nowhere near the 1911. I still stayed with the Browning high power because of the higher capacity and its point ability. It just felt better in my hands. I knew of the lighter weight aluminum framed high powers, but was reluctant to go there because of inferiority of aluminum frames, compared to steel, given the beating recoil gives to the frame and barrel. Well, bottom line is the superior design of your dual mainspring buffering guide rod and the one-piece geometrical design of your barrel have completely removed my concerns regarding barrel or frame failure. By the way, I don't think I mentioned that I am a retired structural engineer and registered professional engineer in Florida. Your unique trigger replacement has also considerably improved the gap between the 1911 and the high power. As a result of the modifications you've developed and made to my new 1981 aluminum frame FN high power, I now carry a lighter weight high power with comfort and absolute confidence. Thank you, Donald. This is the high power that we recently completed for Donald, the aluminum frame one, and in that picture. And you know what, this has just been a unique experience. I have to say that being co-founder of BH Spring Solutions and the things that we encounter and the special people and friendships we've made and encounter, I mean, this is so much more fun than any actual job I ever had in my life. And I can't tell you what a pleasure this is, but a unique slice of high power history, but also a chance, I think, an inspiration really for a lot of us high power and 1911 enthusiasts to get a chance to get an insight on guys that shoot at this level, my goodness, and repeatedly, and in this case, it's got to be genetic, I guess, because these guys have been doing this kind of stuff for over 100 years, and it's definitely a tribute to the family. And these folks from Sam Frederick are just, these are just, what can you say? These are just the real deal. And for BH Spring Solutions, it is just an absolute, I don't even know what to say. To have folks like this, so accomplished, who are our customers, our friends, and have us, do work on their high power pistols, and then are gracious enough to send us, results, like this. And because, there's, like I've said, there's no middle ground with folks like this. Either a gun can do this or it can't. And if the gun can, it comes down to the shooter either can do this or the shooter cannot. But, obviously you have to have a tool that it has the ability or the capability of functioning at this level. And I will say, most high powers that enter the BH Custom Shop Service Department cannot function at this level mechanically. However, it is just with great pride that we have friends and accomplished shooters like Donald and his son, who essentially they've put our optimizations and our setups of the high power pistol to the test. And we couldn't. We just can't. We can't thank folks like this enough. So, BH veterans, hope you're inspired by this. Hope you found this very interesting. This is BH Veteran Spotlight, and I am Mark Allen for BH Spring Solutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com. We thank you for watching.